This is VP4 TV. Here is a list of scheduled upcoming matches in this year's VP4 2022 World 10 Ball Championship. I will try and stream as many matches as I can, although time zone differences will be an issue. I must thank those players who take this into consideration when arranging their matches. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels to join in the stream chat.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Production. Tonight is VP4 League Night. It is 9-ball and is a handicapped event. If you are interested in future league nights or perhaps as a possible sub for any of the current teams, then please discuss this with the relevant team captain. You can always ask in the chat lobby if you are unsure.
Well, good evening. Welcome to Semi-Pro. You're the first one in the door. Excuse me. Well, we're here for week 3 in the VP4 Saturday Night 9-Ball League. This is VP4 TV, and these matches are going to start hopefully in about 6 minutes' time. So let's have a look and see who's playing who this week. We can see the first 2 weeks, and this is this week's schedule. We've got VP4 TV against Omega, 9-Ball Shots against Breaking the System, and Lovely Bunch of Coconuts is playing Team Piñas. And I can't remember who's on what team, so we'll see that once the matches go up. Now, Steve said he's supposed to have fixed the little buttons for joining the different rooms. We'll get that tested, provided the rooms go up. So, the only other thing just to check, bear in mind it's early on in the league, as I say, we're only into league to week 3, so 9-Ball Shots are the only team that have 100% in terms of played 2-1-2. All the other teams are on 1-1, and Team Piñas, who didn't show up the first week, and then they lost their matches last week, so they're 0 for 2. So you've also got the amount of games won overall, which may well come into it later on, depending on how things end up. But there's a long way to go. It's only week 3 out of 17 weeks, so we'll be here into 2023 doing this. Right. So, Steve, I'm talking in terms of VP4 TV. We have Steve-O, who is in the lobby, and Popman is in practicing, I hope, and also somebody who needs a fair bit of practice. Mark Shark is in. Now, where is he? Yeah, he's in getting some 9-ball practice after his let's just say pretty poor performance that he put up against Stubb last night. He's going to have to lift his game a bit. He should be happier playing on a game that he's more familiar with, although there's only one extra ball in it. So we'll see how things pan out, and provided everything does work, we'll have a quick look around the rooms, dropping in to see how things are going. Good evening to Bedhead. No, I'm not playing. MC Clarkey wanted out. He had a bad week last week, lost his tournament match, as well as got done for by the handicaps last week. So he's out for the time being, and I recruited Steve-O. He's in the team. So as soon as I recruited him, because I'd already had myself in for this week, but now we've got Steve-O in, who's got a much more friendly handicap in terms of variations in the team, then I thought I'd throw him in at the deep end. So my team is Popman, Mark Shark, and Steve-O, and we'll see how we go. Now, what's happened to my audio?
Here is a suggestion I have had for a long time in VP4, allowing us to use the numpad numerical buttons as camera buttons targeted around the table. Why, you ask? It benefits anyone watching as a spectator. They don't have to keep using the V donut button to move around the table. It also helps anyone as a live streamer, me, to have a more professional looking camera work. Players in-game themselves can quickly tab the relevant camera buttons if they so wish to during play and whilst also watching opponents shoot.
Yeah, Bedhead's rating would blow you out the water, semi-pro. So it would. Right, so it's getting near the time. We're about, a minute and a half, maybe at a push 2 minutes. So we wait with bated breath. Well, again, not knowing who the teams are, because I can't be bothered tabbing backward and forward. I know that. Well, I say that my team was here. Steve-O was here. I don't see him now. Oh, there he is. So, according to the chat, Z Karaoke's missing. And I certainly don't see him unless he's going to do the last minute thing. Well, the thing is, Z Karaoke might not need to show if he's not actually in the team. You know, that's probably one reason he might not be here, but not knowing what the team is, we can only wait until the rooms go up. He is in the team. Ah, well, that's bad news then. It's bad news if he ain't going to show, because it's too late to do the alley shuffle and put somebody else in. He was supposed to be putting you in, so you're not in. Well, they're going to be a man down then, and they're going to lose those matches if he doesn't get in here rather sharpish. I'll say this right now, the rooms should be going up. We are beyond the top of the hour by about 30 seconds. There we go. And we've got, see again, the only thing is it doesn't tell you what team they're in. You only know what team your own players are. VP4 TV, Steve-O's I'll say that again, playing Gracelate, who was supposed to be in the hospital last night as far as I know, but he's had a miraculous recovery. Mark Shark's supposed to be playing Z Karaoke, so that's going to be a walkover for us if he doesn't turn up. And he's still no sign of him. And Popman is playing Stefan. Then I know that the lovely bunch of coconuts is semi-pro, who's playing Jover. Semi-pro is going for the third week in a row. He feels he needs to hold the team together. He's under pressure, semi-pro. He's got to get the wins in because he doesn't trust the rest of his team. He's not taking a week off. Sergeresh is playing Wit. Tommy is playing Paul. And then in the final trio, we've got Vertigo Liquid against Vexor, Zangetsu against Christian, and Bobby Barris against Brainflout. Now, is Zangetsu here? Oh, aye, he's here. So, let's look at the matches. And we can see that the buttons are all there, the little eyes for joining the rooms. The Mark Sharp match against Z Karaoke hasn't started, so hopefully Mark is in the room. Let's have a quick double check that. Yes, he is. So there's another room who's got one player in, and that is the Sergeresh Wit room. So I think Witt turned up. He's in. Sergeresh is nowhere to be seen. So that's another looking likely like a no-show. So yeah, there's definitely no sign of him, and there's definitely no sign of Z Karaoke. So there's problems there. Now I again have to say, once we get a word with Steve, if you look up top, there is no alert. I've received no alert for the league matches. Now, I might not receive an alert because I'm not in the team. I don't know whether the other guys have received an alert, but I didn't get one. Right, so, again, quick look down the bracket. All the matches are underway with the players that are here. But according to that, now there's one where all the players have turned up. Lovely bunch of coconuts and Team Pinas. They're all underway. So Steve-O UK and Grayslate are underway. Popman and Stefan are underway. And one final look. Sergeresh and Z Karaoke. No sign of them. Now, but Mr. Bill last week, Mr. Bill wasn't in the lobby. He forfeited his first match. I thought I'd give him a message on Facebook, and then he showed up. So I don't know whether Bill had forgotten or whether he was busy with a customer or something at the time. Right then, I think we will start from top to bottom. I think that might be a good idea. So let's, wrong thing, let's go down the list and we will drop in and we'll test this straight away with the Steve-O Grayslate match. That worked. And this is a scratch match. And now I wonder if it would be worthwhile. See, there's no room in. I'm just thinking that there's nothing to distinguish what team a player is in. If they're in a room, if you know what I mean, you've got to have a look at the actual matches to see what team they're in and to know what team's playing. I mean, anybody looking at this room right now doesn't know what team's playing or what team they represent. Now, in the normal course of a doubles match, up in the HUD you have an abbreviated. You have a slash where you've got Steve-O and 9ball.com playing, and then because of the limitations, you don't see generally sometimes the full name of the second player. But what you could have is you could have Steve-O UK / VP4 TV. Let's say, I don't know what team Grayslate's in, but let's say he was in Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. You could put Grayslate / Lovely as much as you could put in, and then we'd know what team they're in. You know what I mean? It's just handy again if you're jumping backward and forward into rooms. So he's in Omega, but as I say, if it had Grayslate and Omega / Omega next to it, then we know. And it just distinguishes so that when you're doing this sort of thing and you go down the way, I mean, we know that that's the top match with those three matches from that group with VP4 TV and Amiga. So we'll go into Popman's room, and Stefan is 2-0 up, and Stefan's getting a 7-ball, and Popman's feeling the pinch for that. And somebody like Stefan's more than good enough to get the use of that 7-ball. Popman is under pressure to perform. He can't afford to be potting 4 or 5 balls and then just leaving what's left to Stefan, because he'll put them away. And it's going to be a quick 3-9 here to get on the board. And as long as he doesn't hit this too hard and scratch in the side. Well, he's avoided that. So Popman off and running for VP4 TV. And breaking off in rack number 4. What's Semi-Pro PMing me for? Just want to add Bill got disconnected in game 4, but I don't understand. What, trying to add Bill to the team? You can't do that when the bracket's up and running. You can only do that before 7 o'clock. I don't know what he means. Right, so this match well underway. Let's go back and we can see that Mark Sharp is still sitting there waiting in that timing out. We can also see Sergeresh still hasn't showed, so that's a walkover, and that's going to be a win provided he still doesn't show. So let's go down and have a look at Bobby Barris and Brainfill Out. Brainfill Out's 2-0 up there. And of course this is just to check that all the little buttons are working so that we can jump into different rooms. And player 1, Bobby Barris, is getting the 7 ball. Brainfill Out though is not letting him get to that 7 ball by the look of it. And well, this is this layout here isn't difficult. He wants to get fairly straight on this. What's Mark Sharp saying now? He's sending me a PM. He's asking if he should stay there. Of course he should. Yeah. That timeout will come now. It shouldn't be far away before we get results coming through there. Likewise with Sergeresh, who's a no-show. So Bobby Barris at the table with a chance. We'll see if he can get himself to this 7 ball. Now, quick look at the 5. Now he needs to hit this firm to stun it to get out towards the 7 ball. That's a shot here. He's got enough angle. I wonder if he knows how to deliver it. He's doing the big draw. He doesn't need that. Yeah, you see, he's trying. He was trying to do something that wasn't the right idea. It should have been a good firm stunt. And Brainfill Out should be going up and down the table here. He should just roll this dead weight because he doesn't want to finish behind that 9. The only problem with rolling dead weight is the chances are he could end up behind the 9. And when he pots the 5, oh dear, it's gone funny. He went to the rail too soon. And so we have a result through. Mark Sharp wins that match with Z Karaoke no showing. And Brainfill Out ducking away. Right, so the matches that are up and running are well underway. Let's have a look at Zangetsu. Well, Christian is getting probably a fairly good handicap in that match. He's 3-0 up. Now, well, He's getting a 7-ball, Christian. Oh dear. Well, the jinx worked again. Zangetsu has a chance. But I think 9 balls seems to be a fairly alien game to Zangetsu because he definitely does focus a lot on the black ball. So, and there's the other result through as well. Serganesh and Witt has won by forfeit. So that's a result that's gone through. What have I missed in the chat? Good evening, everybody. Good evening to Sylvia. Good evening to Cobra. Well, the cue ball's gone again. And Zangetsu definitely struggling. An alien table to him. Because the other thing that's alien for Zangetsu, you've got to remember when he moves over from playing black ball all the time, is a totally different physics with these balls, and the way they react is totally different. If all you've been doing is focusing on black ball, and he's paying the price, it's 4-0 to Christian. Right, so they are off and running. And now we'll have a look in at the lovely bunch of coconuts, Team Pinas. So everybody's turned up there, which is good. Meanwhile, quick update from the matches up top. Steve-O for VP4 TV, all square with Grey Slate. Popman is tied the match 3 racks all against Stefan, so we might have to jump back in there. Bearing in mind my own personal interest in that one, Vertical Liquid and Vexor. I've never seen Vexor play. I'll have a quick look at these two. So we've got into every room so far, so that's good. Steve's got it fixed and working. And, oh, that's what I meant to say, Sylvia. Are you playing tonight? Because in fact, I should have looked and actually read. No, you're not. But the thing is, do you know if any of your team that are playing tonight get any notifications? Because I certainly didn't get any. But I was thinking because I'm not in the team, I may well not have got a notification because of that. Just curious. Well, Chico, if you're in, I don't think there's anybody in the stream that's actually in a team tonight playing. I think they're obviously busy. So we need to find out whether those guys got a notification or not. So Vertical Liquid, player 1 in the top of the HUD is getting a 7-ball. Now this shot here in the 4-ball needs a controlled. I don't know if I presume you can see enough of the 4-ball. He's just see that's letting the ball run loose when he could have played a much more controlled shot to come back and go on that 5 into the other corner pocket. This is bailing out, but he's got the pot. But look how the cue ball's running loose. See that it's something that a lot of players have to work on is a more controlled way of moving the cue ball, and again that wiped its feet. No, I just realised. I think you were talking about being put in the team, so you're not in the team tonight. So I was asking there if we know if any of the players got notifications about the league night tonight, because I never get any. But I'm thinking I'll never get any because I'm not in the team. So this match all square. So let's have a little look now, and we'll go into semi-pro's match. Semi-pro looks as if he's building up a lead as well against Jover. Jover will be getting a hefty handicap. He's probably be getting 5 and out or something like that. Oh, and how much do I know? Jover's a much better rated player than I thought. So it's a scratch match. So when you've got a player that's 2,265, you've got to judge that he knows what he's doing. But does he know how to try and get out of this situation? Trailing by 3 racks to 1. Semi-Pro has a problem with the 4 ball because it doesn't go into either pocket down here, so he's got to find a shot behind it. And he's also got to run up the table. Now this cue ball looks as if it could be close to the side pocket. It might go to the rail there, but he has to hit it hard enough to get way up top. That's fine. So it's going to be 4-1 to Semi-Pro unless he has a disaster. So we'll then finally get down and jump into this match to have a quick look. Popman has gone 4-3 behind against Stefan. Steve-O's 3-2 up against Graysley in that match. Christian's 4-1 up against Zangetsu. He's got off the map. And Brainful Out's all square with Bobby Barris. So, jump into Tommy's room, and Paul is about to get his second rank on the board again, a scratch match. But Tommy looks favourite at the moment. Dry break. 4 balls going to block the 1. So just to push out for Tommy. Now, the fatal mistake is to play the push out up the table. That is not a wise move. First of all, it's not wise from putting himself in trouble that Paul could actually probably try and just skim this one, but the one actually pots into the side, so it was not a good push out from Tommy. Unfortunately for Paul, he couldn't get a shot in the 2. Now he does obviously have a combo. That wasn't easy, and this 4 ball needs to come to his rescue, and it hasn't. And now Tommy has to try and, I think he can cut this. He needs to do it with a wee bit of running. See, that was the problem. He might have tried to check that a bit with left English to try and avoid the hitting the 8 ball. Still got the cut, but it ain't easy, and it's going to catch the 7. But it's run safe. And this is really dodgy. He's got to just roll up onto this 3 ball, I think, and he's got to be careful he doesn't finish right flat behind it, because he could leave the combo in the 9. Oh, this is going to go. This is going to go.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That was well played. We'll give him credit for that, because it certainly looked as if he played it. Oh, but he's followed up by rattling the 4. Again, is the cue ball going to get cover? Oh, quick look. I think, well, it's hampered over the 9, so this is really tricky, and I'm not sure that he can see enough of the 4. It's really, really tight. Really tight. So he's bailing out. Well, the 4 ball is exposed. How's the cue ball? Oh, Tommy is riding his luck here. Now how does Paul hit this and try and keep it safe, because he can't get to the fort. Well, he's got the jump stick, and again got to try and keep this ball in the table. I don't think he's up high enough. Nope, he's nowhere near high enough. And Tommy, with ball in hand, well, quick look to see how tight this 5 ball is. 5 ball's fine. Tommy should be out here, get himself to the hill. Yeah, but looking at the way Paul jacked up there, again he's like me. I mean, I don't jump very well, and the fact that I don't jump very well, I can tell when the actual cue angle's not high enough, and it certainly wasn't there to get over that at such a short distance. And Tommy looks very comfortable now, or at least he will do in a second. Yeah, we'll give him that. Right, so we've got to go and check in the Potman Stefan match for VP4 TV. Stevo is 4 racks to 3 up against Gracely. Potman is all square with Stefan. Quick rundown: 9 ball shots. Bobby Barris is trailing by 2 racks to 4 against Brainfield out, and Christian on the hill as well, so that match might be over fairly soon. He's 6-2 up against Sangetsu, and then the final matches, the bunch of coconuts against Team Pinas, Vertical Liquid all square with Vexor, Semi-Pro comfortably in the lead, 5 racks to 1, and Tommy comfortably in the lead. So that match there could swing it, and Vexor needs to try and pull through to get themselves on the board there. So we're going to jump in and have a look at Potman and Stefan. In fact, Stefan has taken the lead, and Stefan has broke. He's got a ball, but he's got no shot, so he's pushing out. Now, Potman's got to play to get cover here. I mean, you send that 1 ball down the table, bring the cue ball back in amongst this lot here. He'd be unlucky not to get cover. He has to be careful he doesn't hit it too hard and finish here in the gap. Well, he's got the 1 ball safe, but he's just not got into it enough to get the cue ball into the line, so he's going to be in trouble himself here in a second. Well, that was not a great shot by Stefan, it has to be said, because Stefan should have buried Potman there. He should really had him in trouble. I don't know what he was trying to do, but that certainly wasn't a good result. Yeah, it looks as if those 2 guys have got very short memory spans. Well, there's the result through, and Tommy has won his match, 7 racks to 2. Meanwhile, Potman trying to get a sight in the 2. Well, he has done, but he's gone square. So if we look here, we can see that that result is confirmed. So it's 1-0 to Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. Of course, VP4 TV is up 1-0 because we got that forfeit. So these matches are both in the balance right now. And Steve was 4-3 up. And this match could go either. In fact, both of those matches could go either way. But Potman, for the most part, is stroking the ball reasonably good. Presume the 6 ball goes into the side. Yes, it does. But it also goes up past the 9 ball. Now, he just has to make sure he doesn't catch this 8 ball. What was the double kiss, Larry? I don't know how long ago you typed that, because I'm too busy focusing here. Oh, well, that could have finished worse. Now, he's just got to make sure he's cutting this to the rail and he's not cutting it dead on the 9, or the 9 won't go in, I don't think. It'll catch that point and stay in the jaw. He needs to cut it to the rail so that it chips the 9. And that's the shot. That's exactly
Let's
as
watch
described.
the replay of that last shot.
And he was well aware of that, and that's exactly what he had to do. He had to make sure that he got it inside like that. And that's what I talk about, using your head and making sure you do the right thing at the right time. So it's all square. Quick tab out to have a look and see how things are going. It's 5-3 to Stevo in the VP4 team, that is. And further down we have Bobby Barris trailing 4 racks to 2 with Brainfield. That seems as if that match hasn't moved on since the last time I looked. Christian has beaten Zangetsu 7-3. So it's 2-0 now. Of course, again, there's a forfeit match in there. And there's, in fact, Witt and Zangetsu are going at it now. And then further down, we have All Square with Vertical Liquid and Vexor. Semi-pro on the hill against Jova. That match should be over any minute now, I would think. And it'll be 2-0 to Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. So everything's in a balance for VP4 TV at the moment. And Stefan could do a quick 2-9 combo here. It looks good to me to get himself in the hill. And it goes. Oh, Stefan's safe, right? That I see what you mean now, because I didn't have a clue what Stefan was trying to do with that ball that was on the rail. That's probably how it went. Funny. You're right enough, Larry. I'm trying to multitask here. Read the chat. Keep an eye on what's happening at the table. Tab out to look at the scores. Tab back in. Now I wonder, hang on a minute to have a quick look at this. See the size of that scoreboard. Well, Potman, of course, has to be careful. He's going all out for the pot in the 3. And that might be his last shot. These are all available. Stefan has a great opportunity to get his team off the mark. Oh, the cue ball.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh, he's okay. Now, he's a bit straight in the 4, but the other thing is, there's no way the 5's going past the 8. He might be doing the big draw to try and get into the table, and that's what he's done. But the big draw at that pace, slightly offline, that's always the end result. And Potman, well, it's up to you, Potman. They're all there for you as well. Oh, this is running away. Now, again, he can cut this cue ball, this 5 ball, and cut it back to the long rail there and send it up there next to the 9 ball. And run the cue ball down towards the 6. The danger's the scratch, of course. But I like the angle that's there. It allows him to try that if he wants. Now you could even check the cue ball on the long rail just to maybe change the line. He's gone all out for the bank. He needs cover by the 7. And the results through for semi-pro. Semi-pro is won by 7 racks to 2. So that's a score for Lovely Bunch of Coconuts, and they're up 2-0. Steve-O UK's 6-3 up in his match against Grace Slate. Brainful Out is 5-2 up against Bobby Barris for the Breaking the System team. The Witt and Zangetsu match has just started. Vertical Liquid and Vexor, 5-4 to Vexor for Team Pinas. And of course, there's 2 results here. There's just 1 match left in that bottom tie. Meanwhile, Popman's back at the table here. Well, this is a bit straight. Now again, he could just play it simple and, you know, enough medium pace to go in and get the cue ball to here and roll the 7 in and not try anything fancy. Because all he's doing is rolling the ball in for the 8. So this is what he should be doing. And that's the right thing to do. You know, that's it. Simple, nothing elaborate. And now just roll the 7 in, leave the angle in the 8 to come up for the 9. And it'll be hill. And that's perfect. Oh, look at the pace of this cue ball, for goodness sake.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh, what a disaster. And that's a proper numpty shot if ever I've seen one. Oh dear, Popman. You've got to just hit it pocket weight and enough angle to come up for the 9. And that is a major disaster for VP4 TV. You've got to keep your wits about you. Oh dear, a big sellout there by Popman. And I was banking on that there. Going hill. Right. And Steve-O for VP4 TV is still on the hill, 6-3. What else have we got? We've got Bobby Barris coming back against Brainful Out. And we've got Vertical Liquid trailing by a rack against Vexor. I've got to go in and see Steve-O, see how he's doing. Well, Grace Slate has a chance to get back to within 2 here. Not an easy cut. But he's played it well. I mean, how did Popman hit that ball so hard to let the cue ball run when all he had to do was just bring the cue ball into the table? I mean, the furthest he should have been the middle, the side pockets. Instead, he ran another 4 feet and scratched. And no sooner have I said that, also, Grace Slate's the 9 ball in the break, and he's back to within 1. And he's potted the 2. I think he can get to this one. I think he can get to it, and it's off the rail. Well, Popman kept it simple. I mean, you've got to keep it simple to the end, Larry, haven't you? I mean, you know fine well that all you're doing is cutting that ball and getting it into the table. So you take a bit off it. You don't let it run loose. And that's that's like one of the cardinal sins in VP4, is playing some shot where you've not paid attention to what's happening, and he's just sold the match. And meanwhile, Steve-O, having had a comfortable lead at 6-3, this match is on a knife edge now. If Grace Slate can find his way out. Well, he's out. I think he's going to have to go around the corner here behind the 7. Or can he go for it? I mean, he could go forward. Yeah, he's just running around. See, Karaoke didn't show Pop, man. Why did you hit that so hard? Come on. I mean, it's staring you right in the face. Keep it simple. You know the pace you needed. And then you let yourself down with that shot. Well, he's digging in. Where's the cue ball finishing? Behind the 9. Oh, well. It's still in a knife edge here. That's not where you want to be. And this is going to come up past the side pocket. And Steve-O has got an ugly cut that he can't refuse. He's got to go for the cut. The bank's not great. And this is by no means easy. But he's picked it perfect. He's nipped it perfect.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
And that wins the match for VP4 TV. Great shot. So, we'll have a quick look at the brackets. And we can see that VP4 TV is 2-1 in front, or won that tie 2-1. And that was Steve-O UK winning his match 7-5. Stefan squared it with a 7-5 victory over Popman. And then, of course, we had that forfeit by Z Karaoke. And breaking the system are 2-0 up. They're still waiting on the result from Brainfill Out and Bobby Barris. It's 6-3 to Brainfill Out. And let's jump into Vertical Liquid and Vexor because they're tied 5-all. And this 9 ball's going to come into the open for a cut. And Vexor has sold that rack. Yeah, it's 10 minutes, the same as tournaments. You thought I had to get out to avoid the 9 ball. Well, you can always put a wee bit of English or whatever on it if you think that's going to happen, but that wasn't the worry. The worry wasn't hitting the 9 ball. The worry was just letting the cue ball run loose. When the target area, when you're playing a shot like that, you've got to think the target area is just up by the side pockets, and that way you know you're not going to hit it too hard. Because all you want to do is get some sort of angle just to cut the ball down the rail. Where's this cue ball going? So this match, player 1, Vertical Liquid, is getting a 7 ball. And Vexor, again, letting the cue ball run loose. He's gone to right into bedhead territory with that one. It looks a good bank though, has to be said. Yeah, he's gone too narrow. And he might, I think it's going to catch half of the 5. How does this look? Oh, this is ugly as well. Well, you'll be happy with that result because there's no way this is easy. You're going to try and just feather the 4 and touch the 5. Got to watch the double kiss. Nothing he can do about it. He has to play it. This is very tricky and very touchy. Nice and gentle. And I think that worked. I think he just caught a hair breadth of it.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
He just caught a hair's breadth of that 4 ball. But of course the problem though, he's left with a dodgy cut and he's actually overcut it. So now Vexor has a chance, and there's the result came through in that other match. Bobby Barris, that'll be Team Pinas, I think it is. Brainfill Out has won that match by 7 racks to 3. Well, when you look at when we were behind that shot there, Chico, you couldn't really risk doing anything other than doing what he did and feathering that 4 ball just so he could catch the 5. If he hit it any thicker, it probably ended up in a double kiss and pushed the cue ball offline. But anyway, it should be Hill here. So, Bexor breaking off. A quick reminder: remember, there's no spot money in this tournament like Friday night 9 ball. If you get the 9 in the break, it stays down. You win the rack. What match was a? Well, the second matches have started, but I think this is the only one that's still to finish, isn't it? I think it is. All the other matches are all done. So, a ball in the break, the 8 ball has gone, but the push out has been played. But it's not exactly the best of push outs in the world if he's left the 1 ball there. 6 ball could be an issue here if he's trying to come back for this too. Well, he actually played that pretty well. Got on the 2 nicely. But he's got away with it. Well, this is in the balance. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. I think that was tricky. Yeah. Well, either or, they were both tricky at such close quarters, that shot. Yes, I am muted. I just got a text from my neighbour there. My neighbour's not keeping very well. She lost her man in March. He died in March, and she was rushed away by the paramedics late on a couple of nights ago with heart problems. She was on a monitor. Well, Bexor has got over the line, so that completes all of the first ties tonight in VP4's Saturday Night 9-Ball League. So, quick update. VP4 TV is 3-1 up. Breaking the System is 3-0 up. And Lovely Bunch of Coconuts is 2-1 up in their matches. Now, in the second group of matches tonight, we obviously know that Popman has already won his match. But if we look at the other matches from the top down, we've got VP4 TV with Steve-O, 2-0 up against Stefan. We've got Mark Shark, 2-0 up against Graceley. So they both get good starts. Can they hold it together? And then further down, we've got 9-ball shots Zangetsu, tied 2 racks all with Wit. We've got Bobby Barris trailing by 2 racks to 1 against Christian. We've got Brainfill Out going to win that match. So they will be 4-0 up with that result once that time's out, because Sergeresh isn't here, I believe. I presume he's still not here. And then further down, we have Lovely Bunch of Coconuts, 2 matches to 1 up. And their second matches have all started. It's all square in the first rack with Vertigo Liquid and Paul. Semi-Pro is trailing by 1 against Vexor. Must have been a 9-ball in the break. That was quick. And Tommy is 4-2 down to Jova. So they're all up and running. And now, where have we not been? Let's go in and have a look at Zangetsu and Wit. Let's have a look at them. So, player 1, Zangetsu, is getting 7 and out, and that's tough. No, what happened, Chico, is this story goes back to a couple of weeks ago where I had went to work on the Saturday and I was feeling ill. I had an infection and a runny nose, but it didn't feel like a cold. And, if it was COVID, it wasn't that bad. But COVID's not usually going to give you a runny nose, is it? I don't know, but anyway, I was feeling awful on the Saturday. I went to work, and when I got home on Saturday, I was still feeling crap. I was feeling worse. And I knew that I'd work the next morning. And then on a Saturday night, I went to bed. And of course, in that condition, it's uncomfortable to try and get to sleep because you don't feel well at all, and you toss and turn. And then I was sort of in that twilight zone where your brain's just shut down. You're almost asleep, and then suddenly something woke me up, and I could hear what I thought was the dog next door. She's got a little Yorkie, a little Yorkshire Terrier, and I could hear a dog barking. And then I turned over and thought I was dreaming. And then I looked at the clock, and it was 11:30 at night. So I'd been in bed for an hour and still wasn't really asleep. And then I sort of came to my senses, heard the dog, and I thought, Jesus, why is the dog barking at this time of night? And of course, then my imagination runs away with itself. I was thinking, maybe she's fallen or something's happened. So I was out in the back garden in pitch black, trying to trying to find out if I could see in a window if anything was going on. And then I came in and I phoned, got no reply. And then I got a phone call back from her son. The reason the dog was barking is because the dog was in the house on its own at that time of night. She had been rushed away a few weeks ago to the hospital for tests. And then for the rest of the night, the dog was barking. I didn't sleep at all. I had to get up and I went to work feeling terrible on the Sunday. I went in for an hour and I could not do my job because my nose was streaming. Every time I leaned over, my nose was streaming, and so I just went home. That was 2 weeks ago. I've recovered now, but that's her had another incident the other night, same thing. So just keeping an eye on her. Doing my good neighbour thing. Well, that result is confirmed, although you probably can't see it on the stream, but you might be able to read a wee bit of it, I'm not sure. But Brain Pullout has won his match against the no-show of Sergaresh. So that's an easy win. Well, this rack is certainly by no means over because that 7-ball is not going anywhere fast, and you can't get this edge and get away because you'll scratch. So this 7-ball is really dodgy. Well, good luck to whoever has a go at that, because I think the best you can do with that 7-ball is just roll on it. And I think Zangetsu actually has decided he's just going to push that ball, and that is not a bad choice because he doesn't want to risk doing anything with the 7-ball. So now we're getting a wee bit of tactics here, which I like to see. And you've got to keep your wits about you as well, where you don't put that 6-ball somewhere that's going to allow whoever it is to maybe pot it and run into that 9 and 7. Excuse me, because there's a chance of that 9 and 7 being a combo. And here we go. Look at where the 6-ball's going. And Zangetsu has put it in, so all he can do is roll onto the 7. He can't get away from the 7. He's just going to roll on it. And he says, in the chat, because he didn't plan on that. And has that got the legs? Has it got the legs? No, it hasn't. He must have been about a millimetre away from that. Well, now that's given control to Witt, who's trying to feather the 7 behind the 9. Just a feather touch. He only wants to brush this, but he's got to get to a rail. Now this, again, is very dangerous. I think he's got to kick this 7. I don't think it's worthwhile trying to skim off it. Has he got enough room where he can get around the corner off that and get away from it? Yeah, he's going to run to it. Let's have a look from this end. I think it's about there. He wants to be getting someone like that where he's just rolling onto the 7. So this is a test of his control on an alien table. He's going a wee bit narrower just to catch an edge here. And that's perfect. It's perfect because he's left nothing on. And same again for Witt. Just a little scrape of paintwork off this 7-ball. He maybe wants to try and put a wee bit of left on this. Well, that will do. That is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Because now Zangetsu is in a whole heap of trouble. Excellent shot. We'll have a quick update in a second or two. We need to see this. And Witt gets his prize for the excellent safety shot. He's got ball in hand, and all he has to do is come out behind that 9 ball or come away from the 9 ball when he pots the 7. So he has to decide what he's doing. Looks as if he's just going to come into the table. He's just overcooked it. He's overcooked it. Wanted it a wee bit straighter, and now he's played an absolute duff. That there.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That is a duff effort, isn't it? I mean, what was he trying to do there? Because if that was a bank, he never gave it any semblance of a chance. It was nowhere near the line. And he can thank himself lucky it hasn't finished a gimme here, this 8 ball. And of course, Zangetsu's money ball has gone. Yeah, that wasn't easy. But this time, Witt's got a straight choice. He needs to get the power in this and give it a boom down the rail. He's got to be on the 9. But he has to get this 8 ball running. I see David Beckham waited in the queue for 12 hours to walk past the Queen's coffin. Well, that went to the rail too soon. Now, how's Witt's luck? That isn't bad either. Tommy has beaten Jova by 7 racks to 2. Let's see this shot and then we'll just have a quick look. Well, this time, Witt couldn't have it much easier. It's he doesn't want to try and do too much here. This is a bit straight and he doesn't want to get greedy with this shot, because obviously the cue ball's not in the best position to be playing the 9 from where it is now. He wants to try and get out in the table a wee bit, but if he gets too greedy, this will rattle and hang in the jaws. He tries to pinch a wee bit too much, which is what he's trying to do. He's just trying to pinch a wee bit here. Oh, he's got it clean, and that's probably about as good as he could get. There's another result through. And Steve-O has beaten Stefan 7 racks to 1. Witt finally wins that rack. So let's have a quick update. So the second matches tonight, going from top to bottom, we have a result for VP4 TV. Steve-O comfortable win against Stefan, 7 racks to 1. Mark Sharp is 6-2 up against Gracely, so he's in a very strong position. And we've of course got that result with Popman and Z Karaoke, so it's now 4-1 to VP4 TV. Down to the tie between what is it? 9 ball shots. We've got. I thought. How am I reading this? Is Bobby Barris in Team Piñas? No, he's not. He's in 9 ball shots. I thought he was in the Filipino team. I've got that all wrong. But anyway, Zangetsu. That's the match we were in, isn't it? Right. And then Bobby Barris is all square with Christian in that match. And then there's the other forfeit match with Sergresh. Then further down, we already have that result with Jover beating Tommy 7 racks to 2. I must have missed that one. Did I see that result going through? Vexor is 4-2 up against Semi-Pro, so lovely bunch of coconuts is under a wee bit of pressure here. But Vertical Liquid is 2-1 up against Paul. Let's go in and have a look at this match with Semi-Pro and Vexor. Well, he waited 12 hours, but the waiting time was like 16 hours for people. The queue was over 5 miles long. It probably still is. And it runs 24/7 all the way through the night. I mean, they don't shut up shop at 11 o'clock at night and all go home. These people are hanging around for days to do that. Well, they've got until 6:30 a.m. British Summer Time Monday morning before it will then shut down. Meanwhile, Semi-Pro is trailing by 5 racks to 2 against Vexor. Vexor's getting a 5 ball, so I don't know whether he's maybe had a 9 ball in the break, maybe 1 or 2, but he's done well enough if he's been running the table to the 5 ball. And the Semi's played the bank, and this cue ball needs to keep running. And the best he's going to get here is a combo with the 3 and 6. But he's got to judge the pace of this right. Well, he's played the reverse bank. And this is going to have no real shot here. And if this is a pattern that's been happening, the danger is breaking down when your incoming opponent only has to pot 2 or 3 balls to win the rack. And Semi-Pro's in exactly this position. So he's got to get a good safety in here. Oh, I did say that. I'm not listening to what I'm saying. Well, there's a fluke by Semi-Pro, or maybe he played it. The money ball has gone. The 5 ball has gone. And now he's got a 3-7. And quick look at the 4. The 4 goes no problem. So Semi-Pro should have another rack in the board, but he's gone a wee bit dodgy in the 3 here. And this is a little testy one. He's still bound to be on the 4 ball. Another result has come through for Team VP4 TV. Well, he's got the nudge off the 9 there, and now it's gone to a bit more uncomfortable position. Still expect him to pot it, but Mark Shark has beaten Grayslate by 7 racks to 3. Oh, and he's just come off that 8 ball, but he can still see the 6. So let's have another quick look at Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. Well, they're still 2-all in terms of matches won tonight. So Vertical Liquid is in front in his match against Paul, and Semi-Pro's trailing. So that match is in the balance, but this one here, Vexor is still favourite. But that's provided he can get to the table. And at the moment, Semi-Pro is trying to battle his way back into this. What was that, Mark? Let's have a quick look. What are you reading? At the moment, this is a second matches here, right? Ignore everything above. This is the matches we're concentrating on. So if you look at this, those are the matches that were played first of all, and this is the second lot of matches. So at the moment, we've got Wit 4-2 up against Sangetsu, and we have Christian 5-3 up against Bobby Varys for breaking the system, who are 4-0 up in overall matches won tonight. And then in this one, the room I'm in, there's only 2 matches being played because the other one's finished. So we've got Vertical Liquid against Paul. It's 3-2 to Vertical Liquid. And we've got Semi-Pro with Vexor in this match. But your room's up as well. don't quite follow. Hang on a minute. Let's leave the room. Right, Steve-O and Z Karaoke. And I don't see anything unusual there. Now, obviously, you're in that room, Mark, and that room's going to time out, and that'll be a win. I can't see. Am I missing something here? I can't see where there's a problem. Yes. What am I missing? So it's Mark that's an umpty, not me. Good. Thank God for that. That's fine. Let's just. You've got me bloody confused. Let's go back into this match, because I think this is a big match for Semi-Pro. Semi-Pro, of course, who's putting himself in every week so far. Whereas I'm doing like a Premiership manager. I'm going on a rotation basis. He got his Zangetsu and his Karaoke's mixed up. Aye, it's Mark. It's actually not. It's not that. It's not a blonde moment. It's actually a, what do you call it? A senior moment. That's what it is. And now Vexor has got Semi-Pro locked up. And remember, this 5 ball is a money ball. So this is an important rack. Semi-Pro not only has to hit it, but it has to get lucky. So he's had a blast. And it might not be a bad outcome. I mean, this has still got to be potted. It's a good bank. It's a pretty good bank every day of the week. Nice medium pace, and it'll bank nicely. And you see what happens when it's not quite straight in for some players. You know, that's going to lose them this rack. It wasn't a guaranteed certainty, that 5 ball. And with that little bit of pressure on to deliver, Vexors came up short. And Semi-Pro is almost breathing down his neck now. Oh, what's he done here? What's he done here? Well, that isn't pretty. That's not what he wanted. Because he's got to pick the line for this bank. I don't know whether that's it. He's gone a wee bit wider. Yep, and it's just going to straighten up. But once again, Semi-Pro will settle for that, because it's got Vexor thinking, and now he has to pot the 7 and the 9, and this 7 ball is never a gimme. I'll have another quick drink. Yeah, the 7 ball's a good shot, but he didn't do enough to try and get that cue ball under control. And he's got to do the same thing. He's got to try and pick the line. And again, it's going to go the same direction. And this time, Semi will be back within 1. And that result has come through. Did I miss that? Or has it just come through just now? I think it just come through just now. Steve-O UK for VP4 TV. Z Karaoke, that match is timed out, because of course Z Karaoke hasn't showed, and Semi-Pro I think is disconnected, because I don't see his cue. And that might be because, it could be because Semi-Pro has still got the stream running and his bandwidth's getting chewed up. It could be that. 3-0 get in. Hang on a minute. Right, I think we'll leave this at this, because I think Semi-Pro has gone. Now let's have a look at the scores from the top down. We have VP4 TV has won 6 matches tonight, including the forfeited ones. And Mark Shark is 2-1 down against Stepan. Popman has just started his match with Graysley. Then, if we go down for breaking the system, Witt is 4-3 up against Sangetsu. Christian is 6-3 up against Bobby Barras. Overall, at the moment, breaking the system has won 4 matches. And further down, the lovely bunch of Coconut team, they're still 2-all, and Vertical Liquid is now 5-2 up against Paul. So that looks like Vertical Liquid might come through that one and give lovely bunch of Coconuts their 3rd match tonight. But this one here is the one that's in a knife edge, and I don't know whether Semi-Pro's returned. Well, he has done. So back to within 1. Terrible lag. Well, the thing is, you've got to remember, Popman, the reason you're going to have lag is if you've got the bloody stream running at the same time. You need to get out of the stream. That's what's happening. It's chewing up the bandwidth. And I think, I'm not sure whether Semi-Pro's getting the same issue. Semi-Pro is in. And once again, with this setup, he's going to be all square in a minute or two. He really should be. He just doesn't want to go too straight on the 3-ball. See, that's just a bit too straight, so it means that he's got to play the stun. Yeah, that's fine. That's good enough recovery. I heard that late on last night, you guys in the States won't have heard this, but late on last night, about 10:30 last night, the police had to arrest somebody in the what's the name of the building again? Whatever the name of the building is, I've forgotten all about it. Westminster Hall, that's what it is. They had to arrest a man who was approaching the casket. So the police grabbed him and took him out. And then I heard another story about a woman and her daughter trying to jump the queue, and they get pounced upon as well. They were trying to jump the queue about 3 miles down the queue, and I think the crowd got onto them. So this match very much in the balance. 5 racks apiece. Quick tab out to get some updates here from the top down. Now, this is the 3rd matches of the night for VP4 TV. And Mark Shark and Stepan. Well, Stepan is building up a healthy lead there, 4 racks to 1. Popman is 1-0 up against Graysley. Excuse me. Further down, we have Zangetsu and Witt are all square. Christian is still in the hill. Bobby Barras is back to 4. And then down in the bottom matches, we've got Vertical Liquid looking comfortable against Paul, 5-2 up. This match we're in, so we'll stay with this one till we see what happens. And Semi-Pro's in again. this has gone slightly awkward again. I mean, no problem in the 4-ball potting. It's just having to control the cue ball, and he's trying to get the big draw in it to stop the cue ball leaking away. And that's well played. Loads of room. Can let the cue ball run comfortably here. Now he has to get off this 6 ball and come over to the right. He wants to make it fairly straightforward to come off the 7 to get up for the 8. And this is going to be a test here. He's got to just get that connection, come back across. Well, he's leaving it the other side for the cut, and it's well off the rail, so that should still be comfortable enough with a perfect angle to drop onto the 9. And so semi-pro, the comeback is almost complete as far as he's now going to be in the hill with the break. There's been complaints that politicians have been allowed to jump the queue. But that's, I mean, the main reason behind that, though, is a security issue. That's why that's happened, but people aren't happy. You know, they probably offered David Beckham to do the same thing so that he wasn't mixing with the public, and he probably said, well, it won't, it wouldn't do his image that good if he did that. So that's probably why he joined the queue. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that. I can guarantee that they probably said, look, if you're going to do this for your own safety and security, you sure you want to join the queue? And he probably said, oh, he did. They did. I thought that. I mean, I haven't heard anything, but I just came to the assumption that any celebrities that want to do the same thing. But he's probably, and that's probably right. Probably he's either made his own choice. I think he's more than likely to have made his own choice that he would rather do that than be pasted all over the papers, jumping the queue, because it wouldn't do his image that good. So, and hats off to the guy. He's mixing with the public. And you've got to remember that 99.9% of the public are perfectly sane people and know how to treat people. It's the 0.1% numpties and lunatics that are out there you've got to be wary of. So we've got a tied ball game here. Vexor has taken it all the way, and I'm sure he had a ball in the break. The 8 ball is gone. He's got a cut in the 1, and he's got a nice angle in the 1 ball. How lucky is he going to be to get on this 2? Oh, that ain't it. But at the same time, he should be able to play a half-decent safety again. Cut the 2 towards the short rail up top and get this cue ball down the bottom of the table. Get distance if you can't get cover. That's always my rule. Oh, he's tried to bank it. He's tried to bank it. And he ain't got there. I don't know whether Semi can get enough of this 2 to actually pot it. Yes, he can. A bit of spin on it. And, well, he couldn't have landed any better than the 3. Now, what does he do? Does he try and roll through for the 4-5 combo? That looks simple enough. But he's got to jack up to do that. So he's going to run through and leave it long. And I think that, Vexor went all out. Well, it's all, you can always be wise with hindsight, but I think, personally myself, I would have ducked away there and looked for the safety. Vexor took the bull by the horns, knowing that he only needs to get to the 5 ball, but he ain't going to get to the 5 ball now. If Semi-Pro can execute this shot, get on the 6, he should be home and dry. And that'll do it. That's a thing. Did I see that on Facebook today? Some nutcase guy saying that she's not in the casket. I mean, this is what you get. He's the 0.1% I was talking about. You've got lunatics out there. You'll probably get some other numpty saying, oh, she's been taken away by aliens. So well done to Semi-Pro for hanging in. He's came through in the end. He's being the linchpin for his team. How many weeks is Semi-Pro going to play in this without having a week off? I think he's going to stay in. He's not going to have a break. Well, it's not looking good for Team VP4 in that second match. It's 5-2 to Stefan. Popman is 2-1 up against Gracelate. That's crawling a bit, that match, is it not? Then further down, Zangetsu and Wit, 5-4 to Zangetsu. And this Bobby Barras match, it's now 5 to Bobby Barras. Christian's on 6. Let's jump into that one, because there's results here that could go either way. Well, Christian, not a difficult 8-ball. And provided he can cut this in. Oh, he didn't need to, because that was his money ball. The 8-ball's a money ball. Forgot about that. So that's another result through. And the result is updated very quickly. So now breaking the system, have won 5 matches tonight. And then we'll jump into this match with Wit and Zangetsu. Now Wit has a cut in the 7. He's going to hit the 8-ball. Doesn't know where things are going to end up here. This 8-ball could end up in the side rail. Or he could get a double kiss off the 8-ball. It's hard to say how this is going to run here. And there's a result through. Vertical Liquid has beaten Paul. Oh, the cue ball's gone. The cue ball's gone and this rack is gone. Zangetsu should be on the hill with ball in hand. That result that we've just seen there, the Vertical Liquid result, that means that Lovely Bunch of Coconuts have won 4 matches tonight. And all of their matches have been played. There's just one left to go. No, tell a lie, the other ones are just starting. I thought they'd all been played. They're just starting. Tommy and Vexor are 1 rack all. And this match, well, it's not looking good for Wit. What team's Wit in? What team is it breaking the system? You think it's VP4 that's the problem tonight? I'm thinking that some of these guys are in the stream and they're trying to play at the same time. I'm blaming that. Well, there's a miss by Zangetsu. And Wit has a shot in the 2. He's stuck to the rail, which is a disadvantage. Just needs to do a little jack up and a little drawback. Doesn't need a lot of juice. Now, he wants to get away from the 9 clean, which he can do, but he's actually a bit straight in this. Now, if he runs forward, he needs to miss the 8. If he'd just run forward, he would have still had a cut in the 5, but he would have had to go up and down the table. I think that might have been a better bet than trying to end up getting down in the short side, because the 5 didn't go. So why he didn't take his medicine and just leave himself a long cut, I don't know. And now, can he get a thin edge in this 5? Yes, he can. He's gone for the bank though. And it needs to roll safe. I think again he'd have been better. Look where he is in the 6. He'd no shot in the 6. He'd have been better skimming off that 5 and running deep in the table. To me, that's the biggest failing with a lot of guys in 9 ball. They just seem compelled to try and pop balls when they don't look at a decent safety option and the benefits that can give them. You pot that 5 ball there in the bank, you've no shot in the 6. That's exactly it. I mean, you've got to just wind it in. I haven't seen Steve around, so I don't know what the hell's going on. I wouldn't imagine I wouldn't think he's mucking about doing anything that's causing this. But it could be a server problem. We had that problem yesterday where the system was down for goodness knows how many hours it was down. But when I got home, it was still down for about 2 hours. And now this match has gone funny because Witt's queue's disappeared. It has gone. No message on the screen. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's definitely something funny happening, and this is dead straight in the 6, I think. Oh, aye, this is. Well, I think he can pinch a wee bit just so the cue ball goes left, very slightly. I mean, this will cheat the pocket, so if he knows that, he'll use the cheat of the pocket and just push it to the rail, but let the cue ball go that way. Simple enough shot to do. Now you look at it like that. If you just take slightly to the left of the halfway line up and down the split on that 6 ball, the cue ball's going there, and you'll have the cut in the 7. Not a problem. You see, the only thing he hasn't done there is let the cue ball run. You know, that could have opened up more for him. Even that simple shot there. But he's now okay. I think he is. He's slightly the wrong side of the 8, but no problem. You just go forward to the knuckle. Try and open up. Well, he's come back. The danger of that is that. Almost scratching, but he's got away with it. And again, the cue ball running loose. Look at that. He tried to scratch the side. I mean, why do players not just make it dead simple and soft so the cue ball's doing nothing? 6 ball in. Match score, Zangetsu 6, Witt 5. And don't forget, Zangetsu's getting 7 and out. And now the cue's disappeared again for Witt. I think he's having trouble. Aye, that's probably it, Mark. That's the statutory Celerus response from customer support. It's just an automatic message they send to you in email. It must be your system. Right. Quick look just to stay in touch with what's happening. Mark Shark is still trailing against Stefan. It's now 5-3 for Stefan. Popman is 4-2 up against Gracely. This is a match that we're in. I think that's the only match that's left in the second batch of matches, the second round for breaking the system. And then further down, we're into the third matches for Lovely Bunch of Coconuts and Team Pinas. And Tommy is 3-1 up now against Vexor. Semi-Pro is 1-1 against Paul. And Jover's 2-0 up against Vertical Liquid. So Witt having to bail out of the jump stick. Oh, a good pot. How's his luck though? How's his luck? It ain't very good. He definitely can't get enough of that to pot it, I don't think. This'll, if he hits this too hard, the spin won't take. Yeah. It was always going to cut to the rail. Well, now Zangetsu has his match winning chance. He gets 7 and out, but he's got to pot the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and then get on that 7, which does go past the 9. Let's see if he can hold it together. Well, we're all going to have good weeks and bad weeks, Chico. That's it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how the handicaps go or anything. It either will work for you or work against you. You just got to play through it. Remember, we're only in the 3rd week of 17 weeks. You know, the battle might be lost tonight, Chico, but the war can still be won. That's the way to look at it. He's a bit straight in the 5. And again, Zangetsu's struggling to know how this cue ball's going to react. He's no shot in the 7. Going to have to bail out of the jump stick. Probably doesn't use the jump cue very well. And he says in the chat, he just cannot control that thing. Well, I say I've given him an excuse. Well, he almost... Oh, that's some shot that is. What a shot that is.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
What an escape. The best shot of the night. Kicks to the short rail. Cuts the 7. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. And that wins the match. 7 racks to 5. Well, that's came out of the blue, and that is a kick in the stomach to Witt. What a result. The shot of the night. And, Sergresh and Christian. Christian wins that match because, of course, Sergresh is a no-show. Let's have a look and see how that changes things. Well, that's all the second matches finished for 9-ball shots and breaking the system in that tie. And that is a big, sore one for Witt to bear, but a cracking escape from Zangetsu. He got the shot, he got the roll of the ball, and in it went, and that was his money ball. And what a way to win the match. Right, further up here. Well, it's looking good for Team VP4 in one match. We're still 4-2 up. Potman's 4-2 up against Graceley. But Mark Shark is 6-4 down against Stefan. Let's go in. See if I can jinx Stefan. It's a scratch match. And Stefan trying to tuck away. Now, does Mark Shark go all out here to cut this? Yes, he is. Where's the cue ball going though? Oh, well, that's a good enough line. And he's got a chance to get back to within 1. Can he hold his nerve? Can he at least play a bit better than what he did last night against Stubb? He's got a gap to get into to go on the 4. His cue's disappeared for a little while there as well, so I think everybody's having trouble. So, he's a bit straight. on this 3, and he did. If he runs forward, he might run into the 4, and he's had a thump, and he's just sold out there, and that is going to be a result for Stefan. He tried to do too much there and pinched a bit too much, and it's going to be a heavy price to pay. So, if we look at these matches in this league, this is now our 3rd week. If we look at the time, the matches have been on for an hour and just short of an hour and 40 minutes, which is not bad for a league night. You know, you're playing those matches, you've each got 3 matches. What a miss there by Stefan. Well, this is horrible, but it's still a lifeline for Mark Shark. And he's just got to go all out for this, but he's got to get a hold of the cue ball. This is do or die, all or nothing for VP4 TV. He's gone for the bank, and it's going in, but look at where he is. What is he going? Well, he's going to bank up and down, but you've just got to get this line spot on, or is he going for the cut? No, he's trying to play safe. Well, I think he'll take that because there's nothing easy here, but Stefan's going for it in the side. And that's wide, it's wide, and it's back into play. Well, Mark Sharp can't miss this. And he was dead and buried, but he lives again. Potman's 5-2 up. Well, this is the one that's hanging in the balance here. Mark Sharp with a break. Well, cue ball looking as if it wanted to scratch. The break's dry, but more importantly for Mark Sharp, it's safe. Stefan looking at the push out. Now, I know what I'd be doing. I would be cutting that left side, sending it back into the table, and running down here towards the 4 and 3. Because you'd be unlucky not to get some sort of cover. That's the shot, and that's what he's looking for. Almost odds on to get some sort of cover there, and that's excellent. Well, a good hit by Stefan. And it's again, it still has to be potted, this one ball. It's not easy. Is he trying to just drop it into the side? Yeah. And this is the one that's the biggest problem of all. Because the 3 ball, well, let's just say it doesn't go. I mean, it's so awkward to get to. And Mark Sharp's finished on the short side of it. This has got to hit the back of the 4 because you're going to push it to the rail and it's got to hit the 4. There's no way he can play the billiard because again it's too close. Oh, he set a dead set combo. Look at that. It's dead set, and I hope Stefan's looking at this because if he doesn't, he's going to look a proper numpty, and he's having a look at it. That is dead set every day of the week. And that's the danger when you're playing those little tip-tap shots. You might leave something like that. And that's painful. And this Stefan going to put Mark Sharp to bed. Well, the 5 doesn't go past the 9. I thought the 5 went past the 9 there. And he's caught the knuckle. And he tried to have another go at it. And Mark Sharp gets a second life. Now, sometimes when things like that start to happen, you start to think maybe it's going to be your night at the end of the day because, you know, you should be dead here. but he's still in it. Well, I'm a bit biased in this sense because Mark Sharp's in my team. So I'm trying to jinx everybody but my team. And that's perfect weight. Spot on. And there's a result through. Tommy has beaten Vexor by 7 racks to 3. Quick look and see where that is. So that's the first result of the final matches for Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. They've now won 5 matches tonight. Semi-Pro is 3-2 up against Paul. Jover is 3-0 up against Vertical Liquid. And meanwhile, oh well, Mark Sharp's finished in the worst place you could be. It's either the bank or the cut. He's gone for the cut, and he's got it.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
And we're going all the way. And that's going to be at least 3 balls in the break. Look where the 9's gone. Look where the 9 is. And he's no shot in the 1. He can jump this though. He's got enough room to jump it. But he probably won't have a shot in the 2. He might try banking the 2 onto the 9 though. I mean, that 9 ball is a huge target. And I think he should be thinking about that when he jumps this. If he pots the 1, and the cue ball obviously stays down this end, he could probably play the bank on the 9. But the 1 has to go in first of all. Well, he's done that part, so now I think he's got to go for the bank. I mean, it's a huge target. I mean, if you hit there, you're going to pot the 9. If you hit there, you're going to pot the 9. So there's a big area to get the hit on this 9 ball. And he's way off the mark. Again, he hit that too hard. He hit it too hard. He didn't give it a chance to hold a line. Just too heavy, that shot. But at least Stefan can't play that shot. Where's the cue ball going? Well, Mark Sharp couldn't have been any easier. Just a roll in the 5, roll on to that 7, and pop the 9 in for the match. Well, this is a bonus for VP4 TV because it looked all the way that Stefan was going to eventually see this through. But Mark Sharp, like I said 2 or 3 minutes ago, you get the feeling it's going to be your night when the other guy can't get the job done, or you get a roll of the ball. And that's a good win for Mark Sharp by 7 racks to 6. So let's have a look from the top to the bottom. That result has just updated. It's updating pretty good, I'll say that for Steve. Popman is 5-3 up against Gracely in his 3rd match. We've still got 2 matches going. And the other one, we've got Bobby Barras 2-0 up against Witt. We've got Zangetsu 2-0 up against Brainful Out. We've got Jover 4-0 up against Vertical Liquid for Team Pinas. And we've got Semi-Pro 4-3 up against Paul. Right, where do we go? I think we go back into Semi-Pro's room. Because player 2, Paul, is getting the 7 ball. Semi-Pro's at the table though. Now, what's he going to have to deal with here? Well, not an awful lot, other than the fact the 7 ball doesn't really go. I mean, well, if you get there on it, it goes in off the jaw. And he's just managed to sneak through the other side. That's perfect. So semi-pro is going to be 5-3 up. Well, that was an unexpected. I'll say it as team captain. That was an unexpected result there for Mark Sharp because it wasn't looking good. But as long as you fall over the line, that's all that matters. So semi-pro 5-3 up, and Bobby Barris still 2-0 up in that match. The Popman Greyslate match, 5-4 to Popman. I daren't go into that room right now for fear of jinxing my player. But it looks like Jover is heading for victory against Vertical Liquid. And it looks also like Semi-Pro is heading to a similar position here against Paul. Nothing that Paul can do, of course, if he can't get to the table. Well, let's have a debrief so far for my team. From top to bottom, Steve-O, who is the new recruit to VP4 TV, won his first match 7 racks to 5. He won his second match 7 racks to 1. And he won his third match by a forfeit. So excellent performance by Steve-O. Popman lost his first match 7-5. Won his second match by forfeit. And this match is in the balance for his third match. We'll see. Semi-pro's got this one. And then Mark Shark's debrief is he won his first match by forfeit. He won his second match 7-1. And he won his second match 7-6. So a good performance from VP4 TV so far tonight. We've had good performances from Mark, the new player to the team. And Mark Sharp hanging in there to come through with an important result there in that last match against Stefan. And now the Bobby Barris match with Witt, that seems to be crawling as well. But Zangetsu's now 3-0 up against Brain Fell Out. Jover is now 5-0 up against Vertical Liquid. And Semi-Pro's on the hill. And I think since we've come into this room, Paul's not been at the table. And the way these balls are sitting, Paul's not going to get back to the table, I'm afraid. This match is looking very likely to be done. He might try and get top side of the 3. He's not quite there for comfort, so he's going to have to just check the cue ball slightly, maybe. And that's why he's missed the 3. I'll tell you straight away, that's why he missed the 3. He had the inside left English to make sure the cue ball came back in a line that was giving him a better shot at the 4. And he's given Paul a slim chance here to at least prolong the match a little bit longer. So anybody who was thinking about the leagues and didn't take part and all of that stuff, if you look at it, if you can put 2 hours of your time aside on a Saturday, then you'll get 3 matches in and you're working as a team. So right now we are still, 7 minutes short of 2 hours, and that's better than most. That's better than Friday night 9 ball, which is 3.5 hours. So Paul just has to get the 6 and the 7. Oh, he's doing his best to make it difficult, but I think he's come out okay. So he's back to within 2, but he needs to hold everything together. He needs balls in the break. He needs a shot. I think a ball has gone in. 6 ball is thinking about it. 3 balls over the corner. The 2 balls gone in the break, and he's got a shot in the 1. So he only needs to make sure he can see something in this 3 ball. But look where the 4 is. Now, if he can drop this in completely dead weight in the 3, totally dead weight, he can play the 4 onto the 6. He's putting lots of bottom in this. Is he trying to drag the pace off it? Is he running up and down the table? Well, I'm not quite so certain that I would have done that. I mean, the ball's off the rail. He should still cut this. And again, he can be full focus in the 5 ball. He's going to be extremely unlucky if he can't see the 6. And the result has come through for Potman, so well done to Potman for VP4 TV. He's come through by 7 racks to 4 against Gracely. And VP4 TV has had another good week. Although I say it myself, we'll get the full rundown on that in a little while. But meanwhile, Paul at the table is back to within 1. And he needs to keep it going. But this time it looks dry. Oh, the cue ball has been kicked in. Oh dear. And that gives ball in hand to Semi-Pro, but there is a lifeline for Paul because Semi-Pro can get the 1. But he's going to have to stay outside this 2 ball so that he can pot the 2 and nudge the 5. He might have gone too far. He's going to have to tweak this a bit. I don't know whether he can still get to it. He's got the right English on it. Just look for a brush. And that's worked out perfect. Oh, this is a big shot. This is a big shot because he's the wrong side of the 4. And he either gets loads of spinning running on it to get around the table and come on this side in the gap, or he checks it and goes left English. But that's not going to finish pretty, I don't think. He's doing it. We'll see if he can get it. Oh, he's had loads of forward spin.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That's worked out perfect. He wasn't trying to let it run. He was trying to overjuice it with a spin to hold a line on that side of the table. And that was excellent. And the cue ball still spinning 10 minutes later. And now the angle's perfect. Oh, he's left it short. Oh dear. Well, it's getting nervy. He's going to have to control the cue ball again. A testy cut. And it goes, and now the cue ball is in another no man's land. Can Semi-Pro hold his nerve? And in it goes. Right in the centre of the pocket. And once again, he's just gone a wee bit too far. And he just needs to get a clean shot, really, and get the cue ball back over here, and he's home and dry. And that is it. So semi-pro is going to come through by 7 racks to 5. I think that's us pretty much done. So semi-pro holding his team together as he has done for the first 3 weeks, as far as I can see. Let's have a look. So tonight, VP4 TV has won 8 matches and lost 1. Well, I don't think you can get a better result than that. Vertical Liquid and Jover are still going at it. Jover's on the hill, 6-1 up. Zangetsu's 5-0 up against Brainfill out. And this could be a good finish to the day for 9 ball shots, because they've only won 1 match tonight and they're up in both of these 2 matches, trying to battle their way through. No, what am I talking about? Is 9 ball shots the one that who the hell's team is Sergeresh on? I'm getting myself totally confused here. Where's Sergeresh? Aye, he's in 9 ball shots. Right. Where's the matches? And what team? What's that other team? What team's Zangetsu in? 9 ball shots. Shit, hang on a second, I'm going all over the place here. I'm getting myself all confused. Aye, that's right enough. Looking at that. They've won 1 match, lost all the rest, and that's true enough. Looking at it, I couldn't believe it to read it. Aye, because that's why they've lost them all, because I've got it now. I've got it now. I'm having a pensioner moment here. Right, so all those matches are done. I must have missed the result there. Bobby Barris 3-1 up against Witt, and Zangetsu 5-0 up against Brainfill out. Let's have a quick look. The match with Vertical Liquid has come through. Jover won that by 7 racks to 1. So we will head in. Well, let's just say for the time being, we'll give Zangetsu that match. But let's go in and see if Witt can try and get himself back into this one. He's 3-1 down. He's at the table and needs to get a lucky roll, and I think he has done. Well, I think that's VP4 TV's best week so far. So well impressed with the performance of my team. And I don't know whether that's maybe deserved them a second go next week if they want it. I'll need to discuss that with them. Because, you've got a winning format and it's working. No harm in trying to fix something that ain't broke. That's maybe earned them. Tornado Tam and myself a second week's rest, I think. In fact, I'm very inclined to actually do that, unless one of the guys can't make it next week. I think they deserve to have a second go. And I'm sure Tam won't be upset at being left out for a second week in a row, because I don't think he's got a great deal of enjoyment in playing 9 ball, and I sympathise with him. But we'll see. We'll have to. We'll have a bit of team talk and feedback from my players. Well, that's what it is. You know, and the thing is, you know, these guys are trying their damnedest. They're all at different levels, and they're all trying their damnedest because you don't want to look an umpty in front of your teammates. Oh, this is some shot. That is some shot there, I'll tell you.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
What a shot that was, considering where they're sitting. That is a brilliant shot by Witt. And look at the cue ball. Excellent. Well, that's close on the second shot of the night, that one, because the other one was Zangetsu's. That 3 balls getting in, but the cue ball's getting in the way. Oh dear. Well, was it Witt that played that, or was it... I forgot who played that. Was it Witt that played that shot? It surely couldn't have been. Was it? It couldn't have been. It must have been Bobby Barris, because Witt was 3-1 down, wasn't he? Somebody tell me I'm wrong. But anyway, it doesn't matter who the hell it was that played it. It was brilliant. It was a great shot. And is he not getting 7 and out anyway? I think it was Bobby. You're right enough, Pop, man. It was Bobby, because he's getting 7 and out, and he banked that. That was a brilliant shot. Well, I've seen a couple of good shots tonight. I'll say that. So we're now 2 hours and 5 minutes into this third week session. We've still got the 2 matches left. Zangetsu's all but done and dusted against Brainfill Out. It's going to be a miracle comeback for Brainfill Out to get anything in that match. But it's going to be tough for Witt as well. In fact, Zangetsu has blitzed through it against Brainfill Out. 7 racks to 0. So that does the rack tally pretty good for 9 ball shots, and it gets them their second win of the night. So it's unfortunate for 9 ball shots, but Sergaresh has let them down. And this is why you've got to keep in touch with your team. You know, make sure that you're getting feedback from them, that they're letting you know sooner rather than later if they can't make it. But if they're not getting alerts through and reminders, and they're like me, they'll forget the damn thing is on and not show up. Semi-pro, are you going to play every week? Or are you going to actually let some of your other teammates in? Because when you've got a team like I've got, you can just sit back and relax. And they'll pull through for you. Like they did tonight. Very good performance from VP4 TV. I think Mark's gone to bed, but is Mark already aware? Is he still there? I'm proud of you guys. But I think the result tonight has made my decision for next week pretty simple. I think it's odds on we stay with the same team and give them a second bite at it. Because if we've found a winning format, then I think we'll go with that. Are you okay for next week, Mark? I'll need to blow my nose, hang on. Well, you know, let me know if anything crops up, and I'll jump in. But I've got no complaints. I think the other week we started off bad. We lost 2 matches to start with, but we still managed to survive. So we'll have a look at the at the overall stuff if I can troll my way through it at the end of all of this. So this is the only match left now. Everything's completed. We're just waiting on the outcome of this match, and that is not even 2 hours and 10 minutes. So that's giving everybody an idea. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Bobby, what you done? Well, here's a gift and a half. And again, that shot there might turn this match. Because Bobby's taking his eye off the ball. He's given Witt a lifeline. And we might be discussing that at the end of this match. That rollout on the 7 there, where he didn't hit it. Or he didn't hit it enough. And he's given a gift for Witt. And I've totally forgotten what team Bobby Barras is on. Let's have a quick look to remind myself. Because I've got all sorts going through my head. He's on 9 ball shots. And they've only won 2 matches tonight, and he was looking good there. And I'll tell you something, he might pay the price for that. I'm wondering also, looking at this, can somebody explain this to me? Why does it say round 0? We need to ask Steve that. You noticed that on the actual results. Why isn't that round 1, that's round 2, and that's round 3? Explain that to me, guys. Have you noticed that? You've got round 0, round 1, and round 2. Now, there's something not right there, and I'm not understanding this. Hugh, did you pay the other team not to turn up? No, I didn't. It was my team that were, for the most part, playing with common sense. I've just noticed that, Larry. Why didn't you tell that to Steve 3 weeks ago then, if you noticed it a lot sooner? But it seems weird. I mean, I don't know what Steve's way of thinking is to have round 0, because that does not compute. Well, is Bobby Barras going to redeem himself for that hatchet job he did on himself in the last rack? No, because he's had a blast at the 3, and this is all the encouragement Witt needs to get his act together. Now, the way to go here, I think would be forward. I think he'll miss the 9, but he's got to let the cue ball run to come around, and I think he might have to try and narrow the angle a bit around that corner with maybe a wee bit of left. I'm not sure. We'll soon find out. You know, he's played the bank, and is it going to hold the line? It might.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Wow. Well, that was on the knife edge as to whether that was going to keep holding the line, but it's gone in, and he's on the 4, and I'm in the wrong thing. Hang on a minute to get the right bloody button. No, I'm in the right thing. I'm getting excited, and this has got nothing to do with my team. Yeah, I don't know who the captain or who is or anything. I just know I'm the captain of my team. I haven't a clue what's going on with other teams. But Witt is back to within 2. He's gone a wee bit ropey on the 5 ball. Obviously, what's he trying to do? I thought he was thinking of taking it. Yeah. Now he's looking around and looking around and looking around. To me, all you're doing is potting the 5 on the side and trying to get, well, I think he was looking around. I don't know whether he's looking to see if the 6 went into the side. I haven't a clue in the end what he was trying. Because that 6 does go, but it only goes when you're really good on it. That's maybe what he was trying. Is he going to get another shot at it? Yes, he is. And this time, he's got to then think about whether he wants to try and get on that way, which looks crazy, when all he should be doing is, with the angle that he's got, pot in the 5 and running out. If you run too far to here, you're fine. You don't want to be running to here and leaving it awkward, so you get yourself right out. The chances are you'll be brushing off the 8 ball, but the chances are that you're brushing the 8 ball that way, the cue ball's going that way, and you'll get the 8 ball into the corner. Well, now I don't think he's going to hit the 8 ball at all, and now it's finished a wee bit ugly. He might brush the 8 ball, and he might be in danger of the scratch here, so he's got to be thinking about it. No, he hasn't. He's got it clean, but the problem is he's just played it plain ball. And with that in mind, look what he's got. You know, that shot there was, you know, just to keep him at the table. It was with no intention of trying to get good in the 8. He didn't want to risk it. So now he's forced to try and dig out another shot. And, well, I think he run out of ideas there. He's run out of ideas. And if Bobby Barris can get into this 8 ball enough, he should be on the 9, but he needs to juice it up. He's going forward at the moment, looking at the cue tip. He's not going to leave the long cut, is he? Oh no, tell a lie, he only needs 7 and out, doesn't he? I've forgotten again, folks. I forgot all about it. Well, you've got to be wary that machine is in the States. So his time zone is going to be a factor as to whether he's able to play. Because it's like dinner time, east coast of the States. It's like, 4 in the afternoon over there. And if he's any further west, then it's like midday. Or just, 1:15 in the afternoon over in Los Angeles side. I mean, I've got Mark Shark in my team, and I think he's either from the States or Canada, so it obviously suits him. Well, this is all that is left to go tonight before we can have a browse through the statistics. But Bobby Barris is still the favourite. Now, Witt says in the chat, even he's making out he's an autopilot. He says even autopilot is fading now. 1 hour's sleep in 2 days just ain't enough. So I don't know what the hell he's been up to in the last 2 days, or whether he's not feeling well. But if that's the case and he's playing this, then his head's got to be thumping. But I can recommend a cure for him. Just get himself a couple of cans of draft Guinness, consume them, and then go to bed, and I can guarantee he'll have a nice sleep. Where's this cue ball going? Oh, he is just okay. But the 6 ball isn't okay. So he's got to try and get in line. And he's run through a wee bit too far, but he's got, remember, 7 and out, so he's got to be playing the combo. Is he trying to force follow through? He's in danger of the double kiss if it's that. He looks as if he's trying to take the line to cut the 7. Or is he trying to think the 6 is going to squeeze past in off the jaw? I think he's got to take the combo. So this, to get him to the hill. Well, it hasn't got in, but Witt, of course, is under pressure now because it's 7 and out for Bobby Barris, and Witt simply has to either can he thin cut that in? Yes, he can. He can thin cut it in. He's got to go for it. He doesn't look as if he's going for it. He's looking as if he's playing it the other way. But you know, if you thin cut it in, the cue ball's got to run. But he's got to keep that cue ball in line to still have a shot. I think he's almost gone too far, but it's well out from the pocket. Now is he missing the 8 ball? Oh, he'll take that for a kiss every day of the week. That's landed perfect. Well, here's a question for you guys. Sergeresh wasn't a captain, was he? Was he Karaoke a captain? Because he was obviously scheduled to play, so his teammates should be messaging him asking what the hell happened. That's the first thing I'd be doing. I'd be finding out where the hell they were. Yeah, all the team captains should. I mean, I'm assuming that they're all in touch with their players and sending out communications and stuff, because I am. There's not one of my teammates can say they haven't had anything through for me. I send something through every week. Yeah. Well, the one thing is, if you're going to have a team captain, you need to have somebody that's, you know, decided that's what they want to do, and that they're going to be reliable enough to set a co-captain. You know, you have to have a co-captain in place, which I have. Potman is my co-captain. He got that as his reward for beating Larry. Well, that double kiss there has ruined that attempted safety by Bobby. Well, I think that this is the longest week of the 3 weeks so far. Well, that's the other thing. He can't have set a co-captain if he's not if he's not informed any of his teammates that they're co-captain, then he's probably not even bothered. Oh. Well, 5 ball isn't a problem. Now, is Witt going to hold himself together here? Because, you know, he's been around virtual pool long enough to be able to find his way out here. There's no excuse. I don't care what happens here, but if he doesn't get this out, then it does go into numpty category, I have to say. And if I was one of his teammates, I would not be pleased if he couldn't get out here. I'm saying nothing else. But you know where I'm coming from. Before we go, we'll have a look at the stats for tonight, and then we'll have a final reminder of where the 10 ball tournament stands, because there are matches on tomorrow morning. One tomorrow morning, I think that is Sylvia's match, and there's one at 1 PM tomorrow afternoon, which both of those matches I won't be able to get because I will be at work. And Witt is going to see his way through this rack. Trying to scratch in the opposite corner, obviously didn't do anything to just come off that 9 ball. Let the cue ball run. Well, one thing I would say, Chico, let's have a quick look, because if you go to the teams, right, and you go down, if you look at VP4 TV, in that list of teams there's nothing there to tell you that Popman is the co-captain. Not on that. Where are you looking? Because it doesn't show any co-captains anywhere. I'll say this for Team Pina, they've been certainly putting the feelers out to get team members. Look at all the invites they've sent out, hundreds. Yeah, it doesn't show you co-captains or captains, but it does show. The assumption is that the player in block, the thicker text is the captain. So my assumption is that knowing I'm the captain, that's why I'm in darker lettering there. But Popman would normally then be in second place if he was a co-captain. That's what I would think. That you'd have them ordered in such a way, but there is no order in that. The only thing that does tell you is that's the captain. Jover's the captain of that team. Sylvia we know is the captain of Breaking the System. Omega is the captain of Z Karaoke is the captain of Omega team, and he hasn't showed up, which is a bad sign. Bobby Barris is the captain of 9 Ball Shots, and we know that Semi Pro is the captain of a lovely bunch of coconuts. So that's the only thing you've got to go on. But you don't know if there is a co-captain or not. But if you're a captain or a co-captain, you can go into the team manager and look. It says team modifications are not allowed while the league is active. So you can see that, in fact, now that when you look in there, because the tournament's still active, you can just see a faint tick next to Popman's name. It's not highlighted, so I don't change anything. It won't allow me to do it, but there is a tick next to his name. So the only thing you do know is who the captain is of each team, because they're highlighted. Yeah, in that team manager thing you're talking about, yeah, there should be a box checked for one of the players to be a co-captain. Yeah, and you could do what Semi's done. You could just check all the boxes just for safety's sake, which isn't a bad idea. No, you can't, because you're only a team member and you're not allowed to go in and change anything. So this match still goes on. Witt has got a tough 7 ball, and this has got to be accurate because there's just enough room to get past that 8. Pressure shot. Oh, he's played it well. That was excellent.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Picked the line perfectly there. Well done. Oh, he's going to run square. He's going to the no man's land where you don't want to be. Well, it's not bad. It could have been worse. It's not bad. He just has to be, you don't spend a lot of time looking at these. You know by instinct. You should not spend a long time when we're talking. Witt was talking about automatic pilot. Automatic pilot lets you see that shot and you play it. You don't have to think about it. Well, here we go again. Witt's still in the match. And remember what I said, for anybody who's got a short memory like me, but remember when Bobby Barris was 4-1 up. I'm sure he was 4-1 up at the time, and he duffed up that 7 ball. And I said that might turn this match. And I still stand by it, because Witt's now got it back all square. He's come up dry though. And that is not a good safety by Bobby Barris. Okay, the 1 ball is available, but the 2 ball isn't. So if Witt's going to do anything here, It's going to have to be sensible where he can actually get a shot to the 2 ball. There's no real value in potting this 1 ball, to be honest. Because it's not easy to get a safety where the 2 ball's sitting. That's the thing that sticks in my mind. I think he'd be far better just trying to keep distance between these 2 balls. Because, he was trying to get away. Now, that 7 ball was always going to be in the line, but if Bobby Barris is going to do anything, I don't think he wants to send the 1 ball that way. It looks as if he's going to try a bank. And that is not a bad result, is it?
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
I mean, it was a 2-in-1 shot. He sort of played the bank, but was always going to get to the right end of the table where he could at least see something of the 2, and he got the bonus of the cover. But the jump has been executed by Witt. Now, how's his luck? Well, at least he can see a tiny sliver of the 2, and he might want to just try and come back into these balls here. If he gets the pace wrong, he might expose the 2, but I think that's all he can do. I think he's just got to try and sliver that 2 ball. Well, he's not doing it. You can see the edge of it. I don't know why he's not playing it. And he's not got to a rail. He should have tried it. He should have feathered the 2, just pushed it that way, and if he got the weight right, try and bring the cue ball back into these balls and try and get cover. And in the end, he got the hit in the 2, but never got enough pace to get anything to a rail. And what's more, Bobby Barris has got the 2 and 8 as his money ball to get to the hill. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Well, he's certainly taking his time. Has he fallen asleep? Nope, he's still there. I've seen a little twitch there. And then it goes. Cue ball running forward, but he's fine. Well, it's going to be, if Witt gets a chance, it's going to be last chance saloon to try and survive. But if Bobby Barris can get one of these money balls in the break, it's all over. But he's come up dry, and the pressure now on Witt because he's got the shot in the 1. He'll be up the table onto the 2. The 3's in the open down the rail, and the 4's adjacent down this end of the table as well. So that, assuming Witt, now straight away Witt's overhit it by about 4 feet. Far too much weight on it. And he's got to watch that the cue ball isn't running into the 3 from this angle. And that's now played in his mind, and he's missed the 2, and it went all wrong straight away in the first shot there. Or that second shot, whatever one it was. Overhit it by a country mile and got himself immediately in trouble. And the way this table is, if Bobby can get this 2 ball in and get a shot in the 3, well, he obviously didn't think he could. And he hasn't got it safe until Witt gets a second bite at the cherry. Let's have a look. Now, you've got to get a hold of this and get in behind the 3, and he's not played it well. He hasn't got into it enough. And he's making life really tough for himself. You've got to execute the shot properly and get that little bit of dig. So he's recovered there. And this is the one that's make or break. And this is crying out for a stun down this side. That's the shot. no running off rails. It's a stun, maybe catching the long rail, but that's where he wants to stun to. And if this bounces, which it will do, that's well played.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Done it pretty much as was required, and had the pace to get the bounce himself behind the 8. And I think he just grazed it. Now let's have a look. How would I play this? I would go forward with inside. There's plenty of room to do that. Just check it a wee bit, but get the pace. Now you see that shot there was of a player who wasn't confident in playing it the proper way. He's put bottom on it, and he's sent the cue ball offline, and that's why he's missed the 6. The way to play it would be to go forward with a bit of inside, let the cue flow through, let the ball do its stuff, and check back in line. And it's sayonara for Witt if Bobby can just get up onto this 7. And Witt needs to kick himself. He should have played. Well, it was the right shot if he'd potted it, but he was dug down in the cue ball, and he didn't get lined up properly, because that's why he missed the 6. That's why it rattled in the jaws. So a big sell out there for Witt. That's painful, because he could have took it all the way there, and he fell at the final hurdle. So after 2.5 hours, 2 hours 35 minutes, that is week 3 over. Let's look at the matches. We'll see that they're now complete, and overall VP4 TV has 8 wins tonight out of 9 matches. Omega's got 1. 9 Ball Shots has got 3 wins. Breaking the System has 6. Lovely Bunch of Coconuts has 6 wins. Team Pinas has 3. If we look at what else have we to look at here? Not the schedules, the results. No, we've done that. It's the stats. Where the hell's the stats again? Well, that's the main bit, isn't it? Right, there we go. We've got VP4 TV and Lovely Bunch of Coconuts and Breaking the System and 9 Ball Shots, all with 2 and 1. And a 67% win ratio. If we look at the overall matches won, we now have VP4 TV out in front, where they've won 17, lost 2, and we've had 156 racks won and 33 lost. So VP4 TV has won the most racks and lost the least, with an 83% ratio, which is excellent. Lovely Bunch of Coconuts in second place. The stats are all the same there. They've won 16 matches, lost 1. 151 racks won, 38 against, and an 80% strike rate. Breaking the System, again 2 and 1, 67%. They've had 15 wins and no defeats. So they've yet to lose a rack. Lose a match. So they're 100%, and 145 racks won and 44 lost. And then 9 Ball Shots, same again, 14 wins, 1 loss, 116 racks for, 73 against. And Omega, they've won 1, lost 2, they've had 10 wins, 5 losses, 124 for, 65 against. And then finally, Team Pinas, they've yet to get off the mat. They've had 3 defeats, they've won 6 matches, they've lost 9. They've had 85 racks, but 104 against. So that is a summary so far. And it is very good reading, although I say it myself, for VP4 TV. Excellent performance tonight. All strong performances one way or another. Dug ourselves out a hole once or twice there, and we are sort of neck and neck with Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. So it's been a good night. enjoyable, interesting to watch, and we will go again next week. I can't. Somebody can explain that to me as well. Thanks for that, Mark. I think you'll be playing next week. Well done to Popman. Well done to Mark Sharp. Well done to everybody who came out and talked tonight. Enjoyed watching that. Finally, before I go, just a quick reminder to you guys, if you can find the right button.
This is VP4 TV. Here is a list of scheduled upcoming matches in this year's VP4 2022 World 10 Ball Championship. I will try and stream as many matches as I can, although time zone differences will be an issue. I must thank those players who take this into consideration when arranging their matches. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels to join in the stream chat.
So did everybody else, semi-pro, where they were up against somebody who didn't show up. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Anyway, I enjoyed it. We should be back again next week for week 4. So we will say take care, stay safe, and we will see you again next week.
Good night, ladies.
We don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.